The gleaming terminals of O'Hare International Airport buzzed with early morning travelers when 15-year-old identical twins Jackson and Jaden Whitaker approached the check-in counter for Meridian Airways. Dressed in matching navy blazers and khaki pants, they clutched their first-class boarding passes for a flight to Seattle, where they'd been invited to a prestigious young entrepreneurs summit. "I can't believe Mom actually let us go alone," whispered Jackson, adjusting his glasses. Jaden grinned. "She's trying to teach us independence, remember?" What the twins didn't know was that their mother, Eleanor Whitaker, CEO of rival airline Skystream, had reluctantly agreed to let them fly Meridian only because her own company had no direct flights that morning. Eleanor, a formidable black woman who had shattered countless glass ceilings in the aviation industry, had built Skystream from a regional carrier into a national powerhouse through sheer determination and brilliant strategy. The twins breezed through security and settled at Gate C-17, engrossed in their tablets as they reviewed their presentation on sustainable aviation technology. When boarding began, they joined the first-class line, boarding passes ready. "Excuse me," said a gate agent named Terrence, his eyes narrowing as he scanned their documents. "Are you traveling alone?" "Yes, sir," Jaden replied politely. "We have all the required documentation for unaccompanied minors." Terrence's gaze lingered uncomfortably. "Wait here," he said, disappearing behind the counter. Minutes later, he returned with a supervisor, a stern-faced woman named Vanessa. "I'm sorry, but there seems to be an issue with your tickets," she announced, voice clipped. "First class isn't appropriate for unaccompanied minors. It's company policy." Jackson frowned. "That's not true. We've flown first class on other airlines before." "Not on Meridian," Vanessa replied. "You'll need to be reseated in economy, or wait for an adult guardian." As other passengers boarded, the twins found themselves increasingly isolated. A black couple nearby exchanged concerned glances, clearly overhearing the conversation. "This doesn't seem right," the woman whispered to her husband. Meanwhile, a social media influencer was live-streaming her pre-flight experience, inadvertently capturing the escalating situation in the background. "We have all the proper documentation," Jaden insisted, producing their unaccompanied minor forms. "There's nothing in your policy about first-class restrictions." Vanessa's lips thinned. "I'm sorry, but we have discretion regarding passenger placement. You're making our staff uncomfortable." "Uncomfortable?" Jackson echoed, voice rising. "How?" "Your tickets seem unusual for boys your age," Terrence interjected. "We need to verify some things." The twins exchanged shocked glances, suddenly understanding the unspoken implication. Two white teenagers in expensive seats were being viewed with suspicion. As the final boarding call sounded, Vanessa delivered the crushing blow. "I'm sorry, but you won't be flying with us today. We can try to accommodate you on a later flight in economy." The gate door closed, leaving the twins stranded as their plane departed without them. "This is ridiculous," Jackson fumed, hands shaking. "We need to call Mom." Jaden hesitated. "She's in that big merger meeting today. She told us not to disturb her unless it was an emergency." "This is an emergency," Jackson insisted, dialing Eleanor's private number. Eleanor Whitaker was in the middle of negotiating Skystream's acquisition of a smaller carrier when her phone vibrated. Seeing her son's name, she excused herself. "Jackson, what's wrong?" "Mom," his voice trembled. "Meridian Airways kicked us off our flight. They said first class isn't for unaccompanied minors, but we know that's not true. They kept saying we were making them uncomfortable." Eleanor's grip tightened on her phone. "Where are you now?" "Still at the gate. They want us to rebook in economy or wait for another flight." "Stay exactly where you are," Eleanor said, her voice deadly calm. "I'll handle this." Within minutes, Eleanor had connected with Marcus Johnson, Meridian's CEO, a former colleague from her early days in the industry. "Marcus, your staff just removed my sons from a flight for absolutely no legitimate reason," she stated without preamble. "They had valid tickets, all proper documentation, and were discriminated against." "Discriminated against?" Marcus sounded genuinely confused. "Eleanor, there must be some misunderstanding. Your gate agent specifically said my boys made them uncomfortable and questioned why they had first-class tickets. Would they have questioned two black teenagers the same way? Or is there something inherently suspicious about white boys in your first-class cabin? The silence on the other end spoke volumes. I want this addressed immediately, Eleanor continued. A public apology, disciplinary action for those involved, and a clear statement about your non-discrimination policies. Otherwise, Skystream will terminate all gate-sharing agreements with Meridian at every hub where we hold majority control. Eleanor, that's extreme. No, Marcus. What's extreme is allowing your employees to humiliate children based on prejudice. You have 1 hour. Back at O'Hare, the twins were approached by a flustered Meridian customer service manager who offered lounge access and rebooking on the next flight. The boys accepted the lounge passes, but remained wary. In the premium lounge, they overheard Terrence complaining to a colleague, corporates freaking out because those kids have connections. If they were just regular passengers, this wouldn't be an issue. Jackson confronted him immediately. We heard that. You're still blaming us instead of acknowledging your discrimination. Red-faced, Terrence retreated, but the damage was done. By now, the influencer's livestream had gone viral, with hashtag Meridian discrimination trending nationwide. Within the hour, the twins' phones buzzed with news alerts. Skystream CEO threatens to cut ties with Meridian Airways over alleged discrimination incident involving her sons. The aviation industry was in turmoil. Meridian's stock plummeted as investors feared the loss of crucial gate access at major hubs. Employees worried about job security. Social media exploded with debates about reverse discrimination, privilege, and corporate accountability. The twins boarded their rescheduled flight with mixed emotions, vindicated but uncomfortable with the chaos they'd inadvertently unleashed. Do you think Mom went too far? Jaden whispered as they settled into their seats. Jackson stared out the window. I don't know. It wasn't right what they did to us, but should thousands of people suffer because of a few bad employees? That evening, from their Seattle hotel room, they called Eleanor with their concerns. Mom, we're worried about all the innocent Meridian employees who might lose their jobs, Jaden explained. Eleanor's voice softened. I understand, boys. But sometimes lasting change requires leverage. Discrimination happens because people think there won't be consequences. I'm using our privilege to fight injustice, something I've faced my entire career. The next morning, Meridian Airways held an emergency press conference. Marcus Johnson announced the termination of Terrence and suspension of Vanessa, along with comprehensive anti-bias training for all staff and revised policies for unaccompanied minors. We failed to live up to our values, Marcus admitted. We're grateful to the Whitaker family for holding us accountable. Eleanor agreed to restore gate-sharing agreements, contingent on Meridian meeting strict diversity benchmarks and establishing an independent oversight committee. Weeks later, as the media frenzy subsided, the twins received an unexpected email from a Meridian flight attendant. Thank you for exposing problems many of us have witnessed, but couldn't address. Your experience is forcing real change in how we treat all passengers. The incident became a case study in business ethics courses nationwide. It sparked conversations about how bias manifests in unexpected ways, how corporate power can be wielded for justice, and the complex moral calculations involved in fighting discrimination. For Jackson and Jaden, it was a profound lesson in both the responsibility that comes with privilege and the importance of standing firm against injustice, even when you're the unexpected target. As Eleanor told them afterward, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is refuse to accept discrimination in any form against anyone. That's how we build a better world. One confrontation, one policy change, one industry at a time.